Hello, guys. Welcome to the next episode of the Akshadevli YouTube channel. And I have already discussed a lot about how our teams are shaping up, how the week one went. So now I was thinking on the lines that some of you, I am active on Twitter, and some of you on Twitter are high on having a wildcard team. So it just struck me, can we make a wildcard draft right now, just after game week one? I think it is risky to make a game week one wildcard right now. I know there are very aggressive managers. They like to catch the bull by the horn. But I think the horns haven't developed yet. I think in game week two, you might be thinking of lapping on some other midfielder, some other forward. So it is just that some of you managers have thought about a certain player before game week one. That might be a risky punt, and then you did not go with that player. And supposedly, that player scored big or hauled, and then now your eyes are set on that player, and you are thinking, "Oh, I should have taken that punt." But there is a reason you did not take that punt, and it was because of the fact that that pick is a risky pick. In some of the cases, that pick will still be a risky one. In some of the cases, it might not be that risky. So let's just try to understand how this works, how this um, model works. Just a sec, let me adjust a bit. Yeah. So I think that's fine for now. Where should we begin with? I think in our just for example, let me talk about my team first. So I made a team. I scored 66 points. We have already discussed in the draft with my missus how our team shaped up and how it is going. Let me still tell you, I had Ward, Sanchez and Ward I chose. I played Ward because I thought it's a better fixture for a clean sheet. They were facing Brentford. I had Gabriel, Trent, James, Cancelo, Robertson. In the midfield, I had Salah, Mahrez, Bailey. And in the forward line, I had Haaland and Jesus. My bench had Sanchez as a goalkeeper, Taylor the forward, Andreas and Da Silva. Da Silva scored 6 points, but unfortunately was third on my bench. So yeah, it is very easy to make people say a lot, but I think if you just what are the reasons? First, I just want to ask you is what are the reasons you want to wildcard? What can be the reasons? I think the number one reason people are thinking of wildcarding is Darwin Nunez. I think because of Nunez, everybody's trying to get a wild card. Now, I don't have any qualms in choosing Nunez. I think I really liked him even before the game week one. I really liked him. I told you guys on the stream, but it is just that his minutes were not certain. I was sure that Firmino is going to start. Right now, if I were to make a wild card, yes, Nunez will be in there. My only concern with making a wild card or with Nunez is supposedly he blanks again. He blanks, sorry, again. Supposedly he starts against Crystal Palace and then he blanks. Then, if he substitutes in say 65 minutes, 70 minutes by Firmino, then will he start game week three? Then again, it will be a bit of a conundrum. Right now, he looks like $1 million. Right now, if I had to have a wild card and I will have to make a forward line, it will be of Haaland, Jesus, and that of Darwin. Now, to adjust Darwin, I think I will because I have Mahrez, I will go light with Mahrez, and I will probably get rid of Robertson because Robertson you cannot have four players, so I will get rid of Robertson, Mahrez, and probably pick some 4.5 defender and Martinelli in there. Mahrez is a big problem for me. Anyways, I will come to that. So I was thinking about apart from Nunes, I don't see. I think even if you take a hit and get rid of Robertson and Mahrez and get Nunes and Martinez, I don't think that's a big ask. I think wild carding just because of getting Nunes. I know many of the content creators have been talking about that there are no bad picks right now, and you won't make more than 4 or 5 changes in your team. I think what other changes do you need apart from Nunes? You don't know anything right now. I don't think you're going to go for Madison because he looked all gung ho in game week 1. I think you will wait for those easier fixtures, those greener pastures to come around game week 5 or game week 6. So I don't see a reason of wild carding. If you just want to wild card for Nunes, that's strange. If you want City mid to be there, which City mid will you be having? It's again a difficult question. I already have Mahrez and I'm struggling to keep in my team. I'm thinking of reasons to keep him in my team, and the biggest reason I have right now is that they face Bournemouth. But again, what if what if Mahrez doesn't start and they already score 3 or 4 goals within the first 45 minutes? I think he might as well bench him then. This is a very big conundrum for me. And then this is all. I just don't feel right with it that I should remove Mahrez for another city mid called Foden. What if then Foden benches and Mahrez start? That would be a huge blow for me. So I am really not in a position to comment about Mahrez right now. I'm really struggling with this pick. I've never struggled like this before because if they wouldn't have been facing Bournemouth, I've told you guys again and again, I would have surely get rid of Mahrez. I'm just not sure what to do right now. I'm sure about every other pick of mine. I'm sure about Gabriel, Sanchez, Trent, James, Cancelo, Robertson, Salah, Bailey. Bailey, I know didn't perform, but just being a 5 million player, I just don't give that much attention to him. Haaland and Jesus. Yes, I do want Darwin, but it is okay. So yeah, I think I don't know what I'll be doing. If I do remove him, I don't think I'll be getting a city mid. That's too risky a punt. Then again, what other players can I have? I can have Kulu, but it, I'm also thinking long term. But at the same time, I want that short term gains also. Kulu is playing Chelsea, so I'm not that really bent on him. Yes, he's good. Yes, he will be covering Son and Kane a bit. I don't think he will be, but still, I think my best point would be Saka. Yes, Martinelli is there, but I still feel game week 3, game week 4, promoted teams don't know who is on penalties. Might be Martinelli, might be Saka, but I still feel Saka give me that much more confidence. It's not about that price. I would be very happily taking Martinelli, bank those 2 mils, and after game week 4, get rid of Jesus for a Darwin. But I just don't. Just that confidence I have on Saka. And after game week 1, everybody is high on Martinelli. I'm not saying he's a bad pick. I'm more high on Saka now. I'm more bent on Saka now after game week 1. I just really liked the pick. I just really loved the positions he was taking, the crosses, the he was trying to shoot, he was trying to cut in the ball. I just really liked what all he did in the box. So yeah, I think if I don't go for Mahrez, I will out him for Saka. So that will give me a triple up on Arsenal, Jesus, Saka, and Gabriel. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this. There are only 2 ways about it right now. What I feel about either I will keep Mahrez for 1 game week more against Bournemouth, take my chances, roll my transfer, have 2 free transfers, get rid of Mahrez game week 3. Can have Saka or anybody. Then I would have the option of Kulusevski open too. If this game week supposedly I go ahead with rolling my transfer and I don't go for Saka, yes, 3 and 4 they are playing promoted teams, but uh, Kulu also have great games in 3 and 4. So what I'm thinking is to keep Mahrez right now, but I don't know. The last time I might change, I might pick Mahrez out for Saka. Um, Arsenal is playing Leicester City. I think Leicester will score. My defender Gabriel is there. I'm not sure. I think against Crystal Palace, he could have scored a header. I think he's very good in the air, especially in corners. I think he can score against Leicester City too. Leicester City is also very weak in. Uh, they are weak in conceding corners. Also, there's what I mean is they concede a lot of corners and then they are not good at defending them too. Again, they conceded 2 goals against Brentford. So yeah, I think if somehow Arsenal manages to keep a clean sheet, it would be a big day for a Arsenal defender. Um, Trent and Robo. I'm not sure if you guys have Trent and Robo. I think you should keep Trent and Robo. Uh, Even if you are on a wild card, I think then you need to get rid of Robo and get in Darwin Nunez. I think I would have done that. Now, if you ask me, say after 10 game weeks, 12 game weeks, I don't think that Darwin Nunez and Robertson would have a lot of points difference. I think both would be on almost similar points, plus minus five. But the point is, this year the FPL is different. The FPL is different in the sense this year we have World Cup in between the games. I think after game week, I'm not sure, game week 16 or 17, we will get as many transfers as we can. So it's a sort of a third wild card or a wild card in between the two wild cards. So I think we can go for the upside chasing initially, but whatever I have seen on the pitch, I think if I would have been making a wild card right now, I think 110% I will be having Darwin Nunez in here. I could have been easily, I, if someone wants to be really greedy, I think uh, I'm not sure, but Trent was not looking in very good. Trent was not taking very good positions in game week one against Fulham. I think I don't know what position he was playing on. It was strange to see him there. I'm not no football expert, but I cannot make out the what could be called, what I can call him. He was neither a winger sometimes nor a proper midfielder. I was just not sure what role he was playing. I think Robertson was really forward sometimes, and I think I really like Robertson right now, but it is just that the record that Trent has, it is too difficult to go against him. He's just like a Mo Salah. I think he's very dependable. It is like uh, going with Nunez and getting rid of Salah. That's really dangerous. So yeah, I think Trent, Nunez, and Salah. I think that would be a great trio to have. Uh, if you are wildcarding right now. Even if you are not wildcarding, I will also go there. I don't know when I will wildcard because I have kept all my options open. Thing is, I'm so happy with my players right now. Just wildcard is not on my radar, absolutely. And guys, if you are just really worried that one game week is there is no point of seeing your rank right now. I think the proper rank differentiation starts from game week 10 or 12, because till then the points are so close, they are so jammed that it doesn't matter really. And even after game week 12, I have seen people who have been lounging behind in the mills in say game week 25, 30, and they use a good wild card and just come back in the thousands, top 10K finishes and everything. So I don't think right now you need to worry about your ranks. I think what right now you need to do is you need to make good FPL decisions. And how can you do that? By backing yourself. Either, see, there has been a lot of drama going on between the so-called analytics FC and grass FC. I am sort of in between those two. I watch a lot of football. I like to see my games, and I see a lot of data also. Uh, and I don't like to see uh, small sample size of data. For example, I use FBref. It's a free data website for XG, NPXG, XG plus XA, NPXG plus A. Everything is in there, defending stats and everything. So I don't like to see what has been happened in the past 4 game weeks, the past 6 game weeks, because I think uh, in football, form can be a tricky thing to have. I think cricket and football are two very different sports. I think if in cricket you are in a purple patch, you are in a purple patch. I think in football, there is only very good form. There is either there is a very good form or there is a very bad form. In between, I think you just sometimes scores and sometimes you don't score. For example, you have James Ward-Prowse. He will blank against all the 3 promoted teams, and he will score against Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. I don't think he scores against Man City, but again, my point being, you can't be sure that today he's looking in a good mood. For example, in the last season when Salah came back from AFCON, people were big on him. They were saying that he needs some solace and he will find solace in victory. He's very disappointed after the final loss and this and that he is going to blow away the teams. Now I have two caveats here. He did not perform at all. If you look at the goal scored, he was just a pale shadow of himself from game week one. Yes, so I think people were wrong. But again, if you look at the stats carefully, if in those game weeks, his stats were better than the first period before the AFCON. So what actually was that period? Was Salah good? Was Salah bad? Was Salah good but bad at finishing? Now it is very difficult to quantify this. What we can quantify is how a player is or how a player performs throughout the season. What is the reason that in spite of Salah badly failing in the last 15, 16 game weeks, and still he was a number one pick in this season also? It is because of his past record season after season. A player who performs season after season, I think that is a good player to have in your team rather than a player who performed amazingly the past 6 game weeks, and yet you don't know what he is going to do in the next season. Similar for Bowen. You see, Bowen was a 200 pointer last season, and but not many people are big on him. Not many FPL managers are big on him. Do you think the what can be the reason? Is that extra point 0.5? He just because he's 8.5? No, I don't think that way. I think yeah, the people think he might have overperformed, and they are not wrong on that. But I also think that same. If he does that season, this season again, next season again, I think he will be a keeper. I think after Salah, people will be taking Bowen's name. So yeah, that is the reason we believe so much in Trent, in the likes of Robertson, Ellison, Ederson, De Bruyne, because they have been proven performers season after season after season. They are like good teams, like Man City, Liverpool. They no matter how they finish, no matter how they start, they always find a way to finish in the top two. So yeah, so I feel this grass versus analytics is not much. I think we should, for example, if I am looking at the matches and continuously I am liking some player, and the data suggests that he's doing good in this season and he was not doing doing good in the previous seasons, I might not take him. But if he does good in this season and he has been doing good in the previous season, that's a definite yes. Suppose data is showing me, suppose a player is doing good just for the heck of it, say Declan Rice. After game week 10, I see the data for 10 game weeks and Declan Rice is topping the charts. I'm not sure I'll be going there. But if I'm seeing the matches and I really think this season something has changed. All the previous seasons, Declan Rice has been playing as a defensive midfielder. Suddenly now he's playing as a support striker or a number 10 or a winger. I might think that this is the time to think to give him a clean slate and start from the beginning, because you have to see things change, the game state changes, when the manager changes, you need to give the team a free clean slate. When the positions change, you need to give just suppose I give you Haaland and make him a midfielder, and I make De Bruyne the striker. I think that will not be the same Haaland or same De Bruyne as we have been expecting them to be. So this is where I think you need to differentiate what the team is setting up for, how the team is setting up to be. I think sometimes we just let players be. He's not that good a player. He has not been giving points last season also, but the next season things change, and when things change, the formation changes, manager changes, new Arsenal arrives. I think it makes for a different viewing, different playing. So you need to give a clean sheet to those players. Anyway, coming back to the point, I think if you are wildcarding right now, you need to keep Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think you will give up on Robertson and you will have Darwin Nunez, uh, James and Cancelo. Now, I am big on Cancelo. I was big on Cancelo before the game week started. This doesn't mean I'm going to keep him for the whole season. I might not. But right now, I'm keeping him because I think the way in game week one he played, I think he was in the opponent's third many a times. And I think he was very narrow. Along with Kyle Walker, I saw him consistently being very narrow, and those those midfielders, those Grealishes, those Fodens, they were very wide. So I feel that these narrow wing backs, they are kind of support strikers only. So I'm really big on Cancelo. James, uh, it's a tricky thing to have, but I think James has shown us enough times that after say 5 6 mediocre game weeks, he has the potential to give 21 pointers on the trot. And right now, it just seems too good a proposition to pass. I think after Spurs, let me have a look. After Spurs, Mm, yeah, after Spurs, they have Leeds. I think Leeds, they are playing in a gung ho fashion. I thought that Marsh would try to rein in them, but I think they have been playing gung ho football. I don't know whether it's just because of the fixture they played in. If they keep on playing the way they played against uh, Wolves, uh, I think Chelsea will score against Leeds. Then they have Leicester. Leicester, we all have seen how poor they have been defensively. So yeah, I think they will score there. Then they are against Southampton. Spurs have already scored 4 goals against Southampton, so I don't see any reason not to have him. Then they face West Ham, Fulham. I think we need to have James for this run. Around this time, we would already be thinking about a wild card. Some of us or most of us would have already used our wild cards. So yeah, I think we need to keep uh, Cancelo and James both. And if you guys have a double city defense, I think you guys have hit the ball out of the park. I don't have it. I think they look fabulous against West Ham on a difficult day, on a difficult sunny day. There, temperatures were too high. We see some of the West Ham fans were struggling in that particular stand where they were trying to make some kind of hats out of the placards. But still, I think it was a commendable job done by the citizens. And excuse me, if you have double city defense, either Diaz or Walker or an Ederson, I think you need to just keep them. I think they are the keepers. I think, yeah. Then in midfield, Salah, everybody is having Salah. Other options are having Bay, Neto. I think Bay, Neto. These are not that highly priced players. I don't think you should waste much of your mental energies on these players. I think you guys should focus more on uh, the likes of Salah, Mahrez, and everybody. In the forward line, I'm Haaland and Jesus. Now, people, I hope you guys who were on Kane, you would have changed Kane to Haaland, because if you have not done, Haaland already has had a price rise, and I think he will have another one before the game week 2. I'm not sure, but I think on the fplstatistics.co.uk, I saw that he's on the verge of getting another price rise. So I think if he becomes 11.7, it will be difficult to get him. So I think you need to have a Haaland. The way he looked, don't captain him if you don't want to. You want to captain Salah, go for Salah. But I think you before I think this stubbornness not to have. I think I have seen some of the people being stubborn that we will be successful our own way. There's no problem in that. But I think he's as inevitable as Salah. I think we just need to have a Haaland in our teams. Yes, I am a City fan, but I still feel you need to have Haaland. I think he will score big against the low block teams, and I think he will score bigger against the teams who will be looking to score against Man City. The teams who paraphrasically come out to play. I think those teams Haaland will target more. So yeah, this was about that. And my bench is Andreas Taylor da Silva. I am thinking of, in fact, I was thinking of, I still am thinking of getting Andreas in for Bay, and I'm not sure because Bay is playing Everton, but they are playing Everton at home. We have seen how good Everton is at Goodison Park, but this time they are playing at the Villas ground. So Everton, last season, Everton was a bit leaky. Uh, Away from home. Now Everton have got Connor Cody, so he has come on loan with an option to buy. So I think Connor Cody, I rate him as a defender, and I think uh, he will boost Everton's defenses. So I'm just not sure. Andreas at number 10, in the absence of Wilson, looked fabulous, and he was on free kicks on one side corners as well. I think I'm really tempted to go Andreas because of the reason Fulham was playing, because of the reason Andrea, the position of Andreas. I just am tempted too much. But just that thing is, Bay did not score in the first match, and that has pushed me more. What if he scores the next time? Because he will, I don't think he will get many chances. I think Villa is full of talented guys. Yes, he's Gerard is still not able to, and I think this problem. Gerard must do something very quickly, or he could be the first one getting the axe this season. Because last year also, all the Villa fans I know and all the game pundits were saying that he is not familiar of his 11 or what formation he should play. When he used to get his formation right, he used to get his players wrong. When he used to get his 11 right, he used to get the formation wrong. Now I think it's everybody is expected that he will come out with a squad that he feels comfortable with. And now still the pundits, the fans, everybody's saying that he's not sure of his 11. And I don't blame them for saying that, because when I look them against Bournemouth, oh God, I've never seen a more passive team. That was really bad. Bournemouth was, I I just think they made Bournemouth look really nice. I'm not very sure about how Villa is going to do. I think they can only go upwards from there. So, but I still, and I feel Bailey was the best player in the offense, but I still feel no matter how good a player he was, if he doesn't score, I don't think he will be given many chances. I think uh, Gerard will get rid of him, and he will start becoming a squad player, coming in and hopping in, hopping off. Excuse me, my throat is a bit sore. So yeah, RK has used his transfer and has got Neto out. Oh, Cabano in. Now that is what I call a hunky dory kind of this. Now, uh, I don't know. I thought Neto played really nicely. I think he was dribbling in a way better fashion. I really rate the player. I just uh, if I would have been there, I would have kept Neto for some more time because he looked so good. Yes, he did not score any points, but he looked absolutely brilliant on the ball. Cabano is not a bad shout, but if Neto scores the next game week, you will be in a lot of pain. Having said that, I wish that Cabano scores and things turn out well for you. Uh, so yeah, guys, this was what I was thinking on the lines. Um, what more? What more? I think yes, you need Bailey needs to score, otherwise he will go. KDH from Everton is already knocking on the doors, so yeah, I think that would be a good picks. Another good pick I think is Kulusevski. I think if you he really looked very creative, and I already stressed on the point before game week one that no matter he can be substituted easy for by Richa because he is the creative outlet. They lack so much in creativity, the Spurs, that Harry Kane has started playing more deeper than he used to. I have never seen him playing more deeper than he played in the first game week. That might change. That might be because of the opponents or game state or whatever. But he was playing way deeper. Son was taking the central positions as a striker. So I'm not sure what they're up to, but I think when it, the primary reason that Harry Kane is playing in the middle is that I think they need him to create balls. I think after KDB, I think Harry Kane is the best baller in this English Premier League. But I still feel that they cannot, because they lack so much in creativity, they cannot just let go of Kulusevski. I think Kulu is very important for Sessegnon and for the other wing back. So I think Kulu will be there. I think it will be very difficult to get rid of somebody like Kulu. So yeah, I am big on Kulu right now. I just feel that if you need some time, uh, just let this game week pass because Kulu is facing Chelsea right now. Just let me have a look. Oh, what fixtures Kulu have after this? After Chelsea, I think in game week 3 they have Wolves, so that is a prime fixture again for them. Yes, they have Wolves. Then they have Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest look the weakest. Although I feel out of the three teams, if one team is going to stay up, it is going to be Forest. But the first game week did not turn out to be. Uh, okay, RK has not made that transfer right now. Okay, it's SK. He's saying I am thinking of saving my free transfer. What would you suggest, SK here? I think SK. uh, th- this is what I would recommend because you just cannot know after one game week. You just don't have enough data. How come you have selected 11 players on the basis of something? Just it. How come one or two of them suddenly become wrong choices just because of one game week? I think you should give them time, at least another game week time. You will have two free transfers. If you use with a hit three transfers, it will become, and it will be a sort of mini wildcard only. So I think uh, you should just save your free transfer. And one more point that I did not used to believe in, but I have started believing is uh, I don't believe in luxury transfers anymore. If there is no problem absolutely with your team, then I think then you should go for those luxury transfers. But say I roll my transfer and the next game week Bay is still not scoring. I will not try to get Darwin Nunes in. I will try to get rid of Bailey and get some good prospect out there. Now you need to put, I think consistently you need to douse those fires. If you have a good captaincy option, you need to douse those fires before you go for another of those wild luxury picks. This is what I have learned from my past 2 years of playing this game, that dousing the fire in your team is your first priority, should be your first priority. If you don't have a captaincy option, if Salah is playing City and you feel no, is not going to score that much against City, and say a Kane is playing Nottingham Forest, then I think you can go for that. Yeah, I will switch out for one game week. I should get Kane and then captaining. That's understandable. But if you have got a decent captaincy option, if you have got a good playing 11, see, everybody can blank. Salah will blank many game weeks. Haaland will blank many game weeks. It is very difficult to predict which game week they will blank because these players, they are at the end of the day, they are human beings. Salah can score a hat trick against the best of the defenses, say Man City, and he can blank against the worst of the defenses, say a Forest. But it is just that the probability we play the game on, that Salah has a bigger chance of scoring more points against Forest rather than City. This is the basis of the game. But if you have fires to put out, just put out those fires in your team and then go for those luxury picks. I know right now, I knew before game week when Darwin Nunes is going to fire, but I did not take that risk just because of that 1%. He has fired all cylinders, and I'm pretty sure he's going to fire and start against Crystal Palace. And whenever he comes on, I feel it looks like he's going to score points. He looks like just like Haaland. I think personally, I bend towards Haaland more because I feel he's just a beast. I think he's superhuman. I don't think he should be allowed to play with humans, and because I just his body structure, the kind of acceleration he gets, I think those who don't agree with me, just if he is fit, just wait for this season to get over and see those stats. Secondly, the team he's playing with. So I just feel like Haaland, I think no problem, SK. Cheers. Secondly, just like Haaland, I feel Darwin Nunes, I just have my eyes set on him. But right now, I don't see a way to get there, and I have other fires to put off, like Mahrez. Every year I get in myself into this pit called Mahrez, and then but this is the problem with City. You see, I just want to have one more attacker, two attackers at least. Next year also, I will be making the same mistake. Let's see what I do with Mahrez for now. And Kulusevski, I think, is a great pick. They have Wolves, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Fulham. In the next four games, in after Chelsea, in the next four, they are facing two promoted teams. Now that's a big thing, and I think the likes of Kulusevski, their wing backs. I still feel if you are able to hook on those wing backs, if you know which wing backs are going to start, I think Conte's wingbacks are going to kill everybody. I think we are in the habit of getting Kane and Son in our teams because Kane and Son hog the most of the points. But with Conte in there, I think Sessegnon, Emerson Royal, Doherty, Perisic, I think they will be hogging on some points. I am not saying Kane and Son suddenly becomes bad options. I think they will be great options again this year. But I think they will not. You cannot just say if Spurs have scored a goal, it must be Kane or Son. I think it can easily be assist Sessegnon, goal Royal, goal Sessegnon, assist Kulu, goal Sessegnon, assist Kulu, goal Royal, assist Emerson Royal, goal Kulusevski. It can be anything. So yeah, this is what I have been thinking about the Spurs player, and I'm really big on the Conte's wing backs. I really think they are a good option to have. So yeah, uh, this is what I'm thinking of. Um, just a second, guys. Just a second. Just a second, guys. I'll be back in a second. Just a second. Sorry, guys. Had some kind of disturbance. Uh, yeah, though I'm back. I was talking about the Spurs wingbacks and the Conte's fabled wingbacks, and I think hats off to these managers. I think just like Pep, when Pep came, I think everybody was saying that he won't be able to replicate the kind of beautiful football he played in Barcelona and in Bayern Munich. I think she really showed us that if you really know how to do it right, you can do it. Similarly, sorry, Conte, everybody's saying here the wing backs won't work that way, that well, like he did with Inter Milan and everywhere he has been. I think they're working here fine for him too. So I think it is more of how you want to do it, and yeah, the kind of manager. I think Conte, just like Pep, is a serial winner. I think he will give it everything. I know it seems that City and Liverpool are a notch ahead of the likes of Spurs or Arsenal or Chelsea, but I still feel the Conte has that kind of, you see, he has that kind of passion for the game. He has that kind of understanding the tactical know-how of the game. I think he will not speak. I think he's very politically correct. He will never put his players under pressure by saying all these things in media. But I think inside that fame, I just wish that All or Nothing series would be filmed on Conte this season. I know it is not happening. I think that would be a great dressing room to have that shot on. I know Mourinho won. I just loved Jose Mourinho. But I think this would be great if Conte would do that. So yeah, those are the famous things. Darwin Nunez, we have already uh, talked a lot about. Another player I think who can be a great option is Gabriel Martinelli. I think Martinelli has been very good in the first game week. I think in the I think these four, Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Saka. I think this trio is really doing wonders for Arsenal. And I am just so disappointed with Odegaard, who had this free goal to shoot on, just the goalkeeper to it. I had already stated it time and time again because I feel he can be great. I want to pick him in my team. I know he can be great FLP. I just don't know why he's so shy of shooting. He just wants to score goals or free kicks. He just had to tap that ball, and I'm just really disappointed the way he conducted himself and looked for a pass. So yeah, another player I have my eyes on and who is on my watch list is Patrick Bamford. I think Patrick Bamford has been a key player. We have already seen him a season before the season before the last season. He was, I think, 190 or 200 odd points he scored. So he has the class, he has the caliber, and he has already done it once. I think he can be great once again. I think Aronson looked very good. Uh, he did not look that sharp to me, but he looked that Aronson was taking great positions, and I think Aronson taking great position is not only good for him and for Leeds, is good for Patrick Bamford also. I think Rodrigo is also a great player, but I think Bamford in that side with the option of penalties, and I think he hogged a lot of chances in that match against Wolves. I think Bamford is the one to have in your watch list too. I think Bamford can be a great option. I am really happy that this year the forward line has so much of great options and all of them are doing well. Last year we just had Kane. Initially there was Antonio, but I think after that we just had Kane. There was just nobody else in that forward line. I think this year, be it Darwin Nunes, be it Holland, be it Jesus, be it Bamford, Wilson scored. I think this can be the season of forwards, and I think you must have a look at these forwards and how they are doing. So yeah, these are the I think players we hope Godfrey was injured in that match, and we just hope that he gets well. I think he has to undergo surgery and everything. So I hope that he is fit and fine very soon. Uh, what more, guys? I think we have covered most of it. Yeah, I don't see. I have just prepared some rough note, but I don't see I have anything left. So yeah, guys, I just want you to understand that uh, you should not make panic transfers after just game week 1 or 2. I think you should just take your time, have a deep breath, be monkly like Haaland, and just try to think that it is a game. There's no point in harboring too much over it. Yes, we love it. That's why we play it. That's why making content over it. But I think you should still take it light. You should still uh, be good with yourself. And then I think first of all, you should focus on just remember, is there any fires to put off? If there are no fires to put off, if your team is looking good, there is no need to go for a transfer. If you have already have two transfers in the future and you don't have any fires to put off, look carefully. But still, if you have no fires to put off, go for that luxury pick or that risky pick or that fun pick you want to have, and just make merry with it. Otherwise, be tight. We have seen a lot of managers, football managers, the real managers, not the fantasy ones, the football managers. I think I have listened to them many times, and they have been this like, we need to be more tighter at the back. We need to be more tighter at the back. Have you ever tried to understand what they mean by being tighter at the back? I think what they mean is don't overextend yourself. In mixed martial arts, also, I have seen coaches saying their fighters uh, to be to play in limitation whenever you throw a hook or a jab, not to overextend your arm. What do they mean by not overextending? Is if you overextend your hook or your jab, you might lose your balance, and then if the other uh, player is able to dodge that hook or jab of yours, he can really connect well because you are already off balance. So they need you to be tight. Just the wingspan should be that much that it doesn't let you get off balance. And that's the same in football too. You shouldn't lose shape. You should be tight. That is what I call not being tight in fantasy also, that you shouldn't go for that luxury pick, just make a couple of changes. The adrenaline is running high. We have got Nunes, we have got Salah, we have got Kane, we have got Haaland, and suddenly there's just strength in your defense. And with Trent, you have the likes of Trippier, 3 4.5s, and suddenly you have lost the shape which you created with so much of attention and precisement before game week 1. You just cannot throw it away for one or two fantasy picks of yours. If they are doing so well, I think you need to make a structure of how to keep that shape, or how to have a minor chink in that shape, and then get this player. You just cannot lose shape of your team. And because then in one match, when that fantasy pick of yours, say a Darwin Nunes, will not do good, you will not feel well and you will fall like crazies. I'm not saying you shouldn't have Nunes. I am going to have him in the decent future. But I think you shouldn't lose the shape of your team. I think your team should be taut, should be tight, and you should not overextend. If it is not happening, just wait. Don't take him right in. If you think there are no weaklings in your team, you cannot sell anybody to have a Nunes or a Madison. Don't sell anybody. You think City is playing Bournemouth, you need to have another City attacker, but you just don't have the space. So why not let's sell Cancelo? Suddenly you start finding how Diaz is better than Cancelo. I think you shouldn't do that. I think you should be tight. Yes, if you find some money somewhere, say I have Mahrez. If I give him one more game week and it doesn't do anything, I might get him off for say a Martinelli because he has good fixtures in 3 and 4, and use that money to uh, upgrade my team somewhere. But I think that is because I have some chink in my armor. You shouldn't get, first of all, you shouldn't get impressed by other content creators' teams because you have worked very hard on your team. Remember that. You can be the victor of the next season of FPL. Nobody knows that of this present season of FPL. Nobody knows that. How many content creators have won the game? Nobody. I just want to tell you that it is just you just need to sit tight, make a good team. Yes, there are different kind of managers. Some are aggressive managers, some sit on the fences. But you need to understand, if you just throw some wild hooks and punches, you will get knocked out. If you really believe in madness, do it with some method. Madness with method will take you to places. Don't just swing wildly and think that it is going to create a flutter, because it is only going to create a flutter in your mind. But after some time, you will be on the verge of wildcarding. Heck, if you really want to do it, if you're really losing your control over yourself and you really want to get somebody in, I think you should use your wild card and get the desired team. Yes, it's more than probably you will get, after some game weeks you will want to have another kind of team, but that is the way the game is. That is why I'm stressing on not losing the shape of your team. You can lose the formation, you can lose your valuable player, but you should not lose the tightness of your team. You should not let your team overall become weaker just to accommodate a great player. That is not, even if that means getting Haaland in, don't do it. For nobody, you should lose the structure of your team. And by structure, I don't mean the price points, I don't mean the formation. What I mean is, if you don't have a Haaland, a Nunes, or a Kane, but your team looks really tight, it looks really strong, and there are no weak links in your, if there are no weak chinks in your team, don't create weak chinks because other teams have weak links and they still have, because they have, the other teams have thought it out before game week 1 and they have a plan to fall upon. You don't have a plan right now, so just wait it out till the wild card. And heck, who knows, I just feel probably you will be scoring more than those teams, because I still feel that a 1 week punt, or if that this game would have been that you need to make a team every game week and you have to start from scratch, I would have understood your point of view. But the game is to win by accumulating. The word here is accumulating points over 38 game weeks. We have been impressed by many firebrand managers on YouTube and Twitch, but just keep in mind the word is accumulating points over 38 game weeks. You need to just give your be monk like, just give yourself some time, keep your team structure like this. Understand if you have not gone for, say, a Salah, a Haaland, a Kane, those have the potential to score a hat trick in the next game week, and you might miss on that hat trick. But remember, this information was private to you before the game week, before game week one. I did not have Kane in my team, and that was for the Southampton match. But I still knew that he can score a hat trick against Southampton, but that shouldn't change my decision. Had Kane scored a hat trick against Southampton, I wouldn't have taken him in my team because I already knew that. What changed? Nothing has changed. Kane was not before in my team. He could have scored a hat trick. Kane is still not in my team. He could have scored a hat trick again, but nothing has changed. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys, that you already know the kind of players you don't have and what is their potential. But if you still try to get them in, you can make your team a bit weak. So just be monk like, be Holland like, and try to get your basics right. Try to put off your fires, douse your fires, and then if you can have that player, great, have him. But if you cannot, just ride it out until you have your wild card, or you think you can make a team, because we have made strong teams. I am not against making a dozen changes, but they need to be done in a method, in a wild card or something. You cannot make your team weak in order to get a player. I know I'm rambling upon the same point, but still, probably I'm speaking this much to more to myself than to you guys, because even though I'm giving all this gyan, I myself has the tendency to just throw it away for a player. But I am consciously, I just, the rank doesn't mean anything to me. Yes, if I finish rank one, that would be great. But I just don't believe that if I finish 10,000, it's better than 1 lakh. I just want to enjoy this journey, this process. And yes, my aim is to finish rank one, but hey, that's a big goal, too lofty. So just why not enjoy the journey? Why not enjoy this journey of game weeks? And so I made a conscious decision that if that I know I've got Holland, I know I've got Salah, I know I don't have Kane and Son, and both can score hat tricks against Wolves, against some other teams, and I know that, but still don't have them, because you cannot have everybody. If you have them, you cannot have Salah. If you have all three, you cannot have Holland. So, knowing everything, you need to keep your mind straight and think that it is possible that a Kane, a Haaland, a Son, a Nunes, all four can score hat tricks in the same game week, and you will be happy. So you just need to keep in mind that there is, if your big player is not scoring for, say, 6 game weeks, 7 game weeks on the trot, then it is a bad sign, or then it is a time to get the change. But just don't think he has not scored for 2 game weeks. Let's get rid of Kane, a Salah, a Haaland. They will give you much more than that in that third game week. So I think there is a reason we should believe that they are priced at 11 million, 12 million, 13 million, and we should have some kind of faith in them. So yeah, guys, I think this is all what Tripta is asking. Yeah, we should turn into FPL monks. I think we should take it lightly. We should enjoy the journey. There's no point in going gung ho, because it's not a small journey. Right now we are in August and we are going to play till May of next year. So just think, don't overcook yourself. Just listen to my pods, listen to my YouTube videos, and just be calm. Okay, guys, so that was it. I will try to come in tomorrow. I will find some topics because I have already spoken so much on everything. But yeah, I will come tomorrow. I will have a live again. And yeah, let's see what happens. Till then, guys, take care of yourselves and ciao.